This is my presentation on technology integration frameworks. My first framework is technology integration planning. This framework helps to incorporate technology into lesson plans, helps teachers take advantage of those opportunities, and helps with the instructional decision about technology. There are 7 steps that are involved with this framework. The first is to identify the instructional goal. The second is to determine the pedagogical approach. Next is to consider what tools you want to use. Then to consider the contributions to the instruction. Because we simply don't want to just add technology to add it. There has to be a reason for adding the technology, or there has to be a purpose behind the technology. We wouldn't just want to add a random video to a lesson. It has to be incorporated and built into the lesson. Then identify any constraints. That goes along with selecting the right kind of video, the right length of video, and the purpose of it. And then deliver the instruction, and then do a reflection on how well the instruction went. Some of the pros and cons for this framework are that the pro is that you can build a whole unit around it, so it's very good for planning. There is an instructional goal attached to the planning, so for people that like to rely on having goals and working towards those goals, that's a very good framework to use. It's very flexible and it bridges the gap between various types of knowledge, and it helps to support professional development. Some of the cons are that it relies heavily on teachers having instructional goals. While that can be a pro for some teachers, that can be a con for others that don't want to be set up in that type of framework. And then also it relies heavily on technology knowledge, where technology is more than just YouTube. It's more than just simply showing a video. It's about knowing what type of technology to use, when to use it, and how much to use it. To add technology integration planning into my career field, I could see it being used to help plan training and seminars that are done. It can be used for monthly meetings and to help set monthly goals, especially with the instructional goal element in it. I can see it being a benefit for many few things. The second framework that I'm going to talk about is called the 4 C's. The 4 C's are creative thinking, creativity, communication, and collaboration. The first one, critical thinking, is looking at problems in a new way, linking and learning across subjects and disciplines. It's used in support of student learning to ready students for the challenges of today and tomorrow. The second one is creativity. Creativity is new approaches to get things done equals innovation and invention. Creativity is also incorporating creativity and digital resources in the classroom. The third one, communication, is sharing thoughts, questions, ideas, and solutions. Communication focuses on effective listening, using technology to communicate, and evaluating the effectiveness of the communication efforts. The fourth one, collaboration, is working together to reach a goal, putting talent, expertise, and smarts to work. Collaboration has been shown to strongly enhance critical thinking skills, which are very important in this day and age. And educators must use technology to support collaboration within the classroom. The pros and cons of the 4 C's framework are, one of the pros is that it's very personalized and it's competency-based professional learning, and it helps engage educators in their own growth. One of the cons is that it is very detailed lesson planning, and then also the technology knowledge aspect of it as well. The third model I'm going to talk about is the TPACK model, which stands for Technological, Pedagogical, Content, Knowledge. TPACK is useful for all kinds of educators as they begin to use digital tools and strategies to support teaching and learning. TPACK basically states that the content, or what you teach, and the pedagogy, how you teach, must be the basis for technology that is used. TPACK actually has this neat little model here, and the circles in the diagram represent content knowledge, pedagogical knowledge, and technical knowledge. And the TPACK model is about the interaction between these three concepts and how they relate to teaching in a technology enhanced learning environment. This framework actually attempts to capture some of the essential qualities of knowledge required by instructors to integrate technology in education. And it even breaks it down into further little groups such as TK, TCK, CK, PK, and TPK. Now I'm going to talk about some of the pros and cons of TPACK. In TPACK, one of the pros is that it does allow teachers to address challenges, and the teachers are given a 5-step process to integrate the technology. Now, each of the 5 phases helps to outline for the teachers the steps for the implementation that helps ensure that the technology use in the classroom is meaningful, efficient, and successful. By using this process, the teachers are encouraged to plan by beginning with content goals for instruction and then moving to activity types that will support these goals. This is a good way to plan, and this is a very good model, especially for new teachers within the classroom. One of the cons of the TPACK is that it's not designed to be a full package of integrating technology, so it has to be put into context, because not all levels of education are the same, because elementary school to high school to undergraduate to graduate, each approach to integrating technology will look vastly different. And then also simply adding technology to a lesson plan does not necessarily enhance the course or lesson if the instructor has not done the due diligence in their planning or testing the technology, because yes, adding one technology for elementary school students is good, but that same technology may not work for students on the undergraduate level. The next model I'm going to talk about is the SAMR model. The SRAM model was developed by Dr. Ruben Pentendura. It describes technology integration through 4 levels. Substitution, augmentation, modification, and redefinition. Substitution is when technology is used as a direct substitute for what you might do already. Augmentation is when technology is a direct substitute, but there is functional improvement over what you did without the technology. So the tech acts as a direct tool with functional improvement. Next, modification is when the technology allows you to significantly redesign the task. And redefinition is when the tech allows for the creation of new tasks, which were previously not possible. Now on to the strengths and weaknesses of the SAMR model. It has very easy to follow steps. That's one of its greatest strengths. And it provides great examples of how to scaffold the integration of technology into teaching and learning. And also, instructors can choose the level of integration that they want for their classes. So they can either use 2 enhancement steps, or they can go deeper and use all of the steps. So that's one of the pros. Some of the cons are that just like some of the other models, due diligence needs to be done wherever the correct technology is chosen and the correct level of integration is chosen, and that the instructors need to learn to effectively differentiate the instruction between different lessons. The last model I'm going to talk about is the RAT model, better known as the RAT model. This video doesn't have any sound to it, but this was a cool little video that I did find that goes over the RAT model, which is basically replacement, amplification, and transformation. As I said, the RAT model stands for replacement, amplification, and transformation. Which goes into it deeper, is for replacement, technology serves as a different means to the same instructional practices. Amplification is when technology increases the efficiency, effectiveness, and the productivity of the same instructional practices. And transformation is when technology invents new instruction, learning, or curricula. It's very similar to the SAMR model, and the framework helps teachers integrate technology into the classroom. Just like with some of the other models, the pros and the cons. Pros, it has very easy to follow steps, and it's a very simple process. But with it being that simple of a process, that can be one of the cons, that it can be too simple wherever it doesn't dive deep enough and integrate deep enough within the classroom and dive deep enough into integrating technology and integrating new forms of technology. All right, and that was the end of my presentation. Thank you.